friends, welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss packet switching. In this video, we will be discussing packet switching. So in the last video, we discussed circuit switching. So what actually is the purpose of switching? That when sender wants to transmit some of the messages to the receiver. So how all of your messages will be transmitted to the receiver? Will all the packets follow the same path, or they would follow the different routes or different paths? So in circuit switching, what we discussed, in circuit switching we had one network. This is some different network. Both these networks are connected through a router. Okay, so what happens in circuit switching? This is a sender, this is receiver. This is a sender, this is your receiver, and there is no router present between the sender and the receiver. There is a direct physical connection between sender and receiver. In case of circuit switching, there is no router or switch present intermediate between the source and the destination. There is a direct physical connection between source and the destination. So when sender will send all the messages to the receiver, all those messages are going to be sent directly to the Madhur, to the recipient. Even if you are not using any IPv4 header in the message, you know, when we send any message, we add IPv4 header to the message. But there is a direct physical connection. There is a direct cable or wire present between source and destination. So even you don't need to include the IPv4 header with message. Okay, so all the packets which you are transmitting will be directly kept on the link, and all the messages will reach to the destination. And this physical connection, this wire between Aarti and Madhur is kept reserved. This is reserved between Aarti and Madhur. No other third party can use this physical connection unless they release it. Unless they release the connection. So it is privately kind of owned between Aarti and Madhur for some period of time. And when they transferred all the messages they want to do, then you can release this physical connection. Then any other third party can use this physical connection. So that is basically our circuit switching. Now we discuss what is packet switching. Now let's discuss packet switching. In circuit switching, there was no router present between the source and the destination. But in packet switching, we really have an intermediate path present between source and destination. And the circuit switching method, in which you are doing fast delivery of your packets to the destination, was a little bit expensive method, because that method was very fast and quick. You will send all of your messages to the recipient very fast. So when do we use circuit switching? We use circuit switching when you have some urgent work to do and you want your work to be very fast. In that case, we use circuit switching. But in case of packet switching, what do we have? We have various routers. present between the source and the destination. Okay, so what happens? Let's suppose I am sending some message which is of 100 KB to the Madhur. I am sending some message whose size is 100 KB, and we have several routers present between the intermediate path. Several routers are present in the intermediate path, and these are actually your store and forward. These are actually your store and forward. So firstly, what Aarti would do, it want to send a 100 KB message to Madhur. Then what it would do, it is going to transmit 100 KB onto the channel. Okay, firstly it will be doing 100, it will be transmitting 100 KB onto the channel. Then this packet will reach to the router. In router is follow what kind of approach? You can consider your router or you can consider your switch. So what they do, they are going to store all the messages into the software. Switches or routers, what they are actually a kind of softwares. They do some kind of processing on the messages. So firstly what they would do, they are going to store the 100 KB message into its software. They would do next some kind of processing on the message. Then they will again transmit the entire 100 KB message on the channel. Okay. So the Aarti is going to transmit the message. All the routers or switches in intermediate path, all are going to transmit the 100 KB message on the channel. And transmitting your message on the channel will take some time. So if you have to send 100 KB message and it has to cross 2 hops, and on each hop you have to transmit a message, and the message size is very big. So definitely answer is very obvious that your message will deliver to the recipient very late. It would take some time to processing of the messages and the transmission of the messages on the channel. So your message will be reaching at the destination very late. So what we can do in that situation, in circuit switching, our message was delivering to the destination very fast. But in this, we have various routers in the intermediate path. So all have to do processing on your packets, and all are going to again and again transmitting your messages on the channel. So it would take some time. So how we can speed up our fast delivery of packets in packet switching? What we can do? We can use pipelining concept in packet switching. What I could do, I have a 100 KB message, and I can divide this 100 KB message into 10 packets. Each packet size is of 10 KB. I divided this message into 10 packets, and then I will be sending packets onto the channel. So what we can do? We can use pipelining concept here. We can do parallel processing of all these packets, and at some particular point of time you will be getting at a faster rate. All of your packets will be delivering to the destination at a faster rate if you are using pipelining concept. So what I mean to say, let me tell you. So even if you have understood software engineering, there is a one kind of method, agile software development. In that case, what we do, even if you are working in a software companies, You are working on larger project. So how they make larger project? How they make large project? They divide a larger project into various phases. They divide a larger project into various phases. There is a separate designing phase, development phase, testing phase, and we have a maintenance phase. So all these works happen parallelly. So we are going to work on a larger project, and some of the people are working on designing, some of the people are working on development, some on testing, and some on maintenance. So all this work are actually happening parallelly. So let's suppose if you are giving only one people the responsibilities of all this kind of work. Firstly, the one people will do the designing of the project. Then the same people after performing designing will do development. After development, the same person will do testing. So how long it is going to take time? It is going to take a hell of a lot of time if you are giving only one person to perform all these activities. And even if you are doing development, you are dividing your development into several modules. What we are actually doing, we are parallelly working on various things. We are doing work parallelly on various things so that we can complete our project at a faster rate. And the output of this project is going to be very good, and it is going to be very efficient. So it is also a kind of a pipelining. Pipelining means you are working parallelly. Lot of things of the same thing are happening parallelly so that you can achieve your goal at a very faster rate. Or even if you want to take some example, you have to study various subjects like computer networking, operating system, compiler design. So one situation is you firstly complete computer networking, then you complete operating system, then you complete compiler design. Or what you can do, you could use pipelining concept. You could study all the subjects parallelly. Sometimes you are studying computer networking, then sometimes you are studying operating system. So if we work parallelly, we can achieve our output at a faster rate. So similar kind of thing we are actually doing in packet switching. Okay, so let me tell you. So what we do, we have two methods in packet switching. The first method is virtual circuit. Virtual circuit. And the second method is basically your datagram service. These are the two methods with the help of which we can do packet switching. So firstly, let me tell you what is virtual circuit and what is the difference between virtual circuit and datagram service of packet switching. So let's firstly discuss virtual circuit. Virtual circuit. Let's suppose this is my network. This is one network. This is another network. And we have various routes present between source and destination. This is device of Aarti and this is device of Neha. So we have a several routes present between source and destination. So what virtual circuit say? as it is a packet switching method. So firstly, it is clear from the name, we have to divide a bigger packet into smaller packets, because we want to reach all the packets at a faster rate to the Neha. And what happens if you are studying software engineering agile method? If instead of, if you are working on a complete project, firstly you will be completing the project, then you will be giving to the recipient. Okay, then what could you do? You have divided all of your projects into some modules. You have divided your project into some modules, like module 3. So instead of giving all the entire project to the recipient, what we can do, we can firstly work on module 1. Okay, when your module 1 is completed, give it to the recipient. Then what would happen? Recipient has been now busy, because it has some part of the project. It can start the project. It can work on that project. It has not, received the entire project, but it has some project. It can become busy now. It can work on that part of the module. So similarly, we are not sending the entire message to the destination. What you can do, you are breaking your bigger packet into smaller packets. Okay, so what we do in virtual circuit? In virtual circuit, all of your packets, all of your divided packets will go to the destination following only one path. All the packets will follow one path. They all will follow one row. Okay, they all will follow one row. So this is 0 number packet, 2, 3, 4, 5, this way. So these are all the packet numbers. So they all will follow the one single path, or you can say one row. What would happen? So how we would be embedding IPv4 header in this case? So the question is, they all are following the same path. So we don't need to, waste our space by adding IPv4 header in front of each and every packet. Even if you are just adding IPv4 header in front of packet 0, then that is also okay, because after all the packets after 0 will follow the one route. They can just follow packet number 0. If you are adding IPv4 header only in front of 0, then that is also okay situation, because all these packets, first, second, third, will be following the packet number 0. So there is no need to embed IPv4 header in front of all the packets 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5. Okay. So they are all following the one path, 0. This way, they all will follow the one route in virtual circuit. So what is the advantage of using the virtual circuit method? First advantage is you don't need to add IPv4 header in front of all the packets. Just add IPv4 header in front of only first packet. This is the first advantage of using virtual circuit. And second thing is, they are actually reserving the buffers. They are actually reserving the buffer. When one packet goes to the destination by following some path, then what it do? It reserve the buffers on the way when it is moving toward the destination. It says that please follow some buffers. There are few packets coming after me on the same path. You just reserve some buffers for all those packets. So this is actually your virtual circuit. They all will follow the same path, and there is no need to add IPv4 header in front of all the packets. So this is actually our virtual circuit. Next we will be discussing what is datagram service. What is datagram service? Now let's discuss what is datagram service. So what happens in datagram service? So now let's discuss datagram service, how it is different from virtual circuit. It is also one of the methods of packet switching. So what we do, we also divide our bigger packet into smaller packets, okay, and all these packets will be moving on the paths or will be moving on the channel to reach to the NEHA. But in virtual circuit, what we discussed, all follow the same path, and in this case there are actually routers present. In circuit switching, there was no routers present between the source and the destination. But in virtual circuit, in datagram service, we have various routers present between the sender and the destination. So what happens in the datagram service? All the packets would follow the different paths. All the packets would follow the different paths to reach to NEHA. I have some messages which I want to send to my friend, and all these messages which I am sending will be following the different routes. They are following the different ROPs. All will be following the different ROPs. So in virtual circuit, they all were following the one path. So we were having only one IPv4 header. But in this, you don't know which path your packet is going to follow. So in this case, in front of each packet, you are going to add some IPv4 header in front of each packet, because they all follow a different path. Okay, so they all follow the different paths. In front of each packet, you will be having IPv4 header. In IPv4 header, what is the purpose of using IPv4 header? IPv4 header will help you to reach to the destination machine. If you don't have IPv4 header, that means your packet is lost in the network. You don't know what is your destination, where you have to go. But if you have an IPv4 header with your packet, you know that where you have to go, what is your destination. So you will reach to your destination with the help of the IPv4 header. And in datagram service, your packet might be received by the receiver out of order. Like firstly, your receiver received one number packet, then 0, then 2. Okay, so your messages are getting changed. If you firstly send hi, then hello, at the receiver side, their order gets changed in datagram service. So you have to arrange all these packets into one particular sorted order. You have to arrange all these packets in the sorted order 0, 1 and 2. In virtual circuit, all the packets will be received already in the sorted order because they are following the one path. Okay, so all the packets will be already reaching at the destination in the sorted manner. But in datagram service, your packets might reach in unsorted manner. Then you have to sort all those packets. Okay, so this is how datagram service works. It is not very fast. Datagram service is not very fast as compared to virtual circuit. When there is some reservation, your packet will reach faster. But where there is no reservation, your packets are moving as they want. in any direction, then it will take some time to reach at the destination. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.